And then somewhere in 2002, in the spring of 2002, Jamie called. Jamie and I wouldn't actually, we're not friends, we don't hang out. Even as professional contacts, we would only talk maybe once or twice a year. About 6 months before Mythbusters, before he called me about Mythbusters, he called me up. I was having breakfast with my kids, and Jamie said, What are you doing? I said, I'm having breakfast with my kids. What's up? He said, well, I'm down here at the shop. It's like Saturday morning at 7 a.m. And I just finished building something and I'm about to strap it on. I wondered if you wanted to come on down and take a look. I run down there, of course, like I'll be right there. And he's been given these massive, sorry, I'm telegraphing the end of the joke before I've gotten to the first part. He's been given these 24-volt cordless drills by Bosch, and he's done what anyone would do with them, he's bolted them to a pair of rollerblades. And he's trying to teach himself how to steer around the shop using this as a tank drive. Anyway, about 6 months after that, he called me up and said, you know, I got contacted by Discovery Channel about this show called Tall Tales or True. Yeah, and I thought Mythbusters didn't roll off the tongue. And would I be interested? You know, would you be interested in hosting this with me? We sent in a demo reel. The producers went crazy. They loved it, and they showed up 3 weeks later with a camera crew, and we have literally been shooting ever since.
Jamie, your rebuttal.
Well, where to begin? Let's see. As far as I'm aware, all of that was true, except for the little beginning thing, which you then debunked for me, so I don't have anything left.
But there's so much mythology surrounding you, I thought you could survive for both of us. Jamie was born during the Civil War.
And I was actually raised by, well, the rumor is that I was raised by wolves, actually feral cats. And then, you know, I've been involved in all, you know, and I rode with Attila the Hun as well. Yeah.
Jamie traveled the spice route for a while.
Yeah, the Hun thing was, you know, those horses are actually quite small. It's really weird riding them at high speed.
This brings me to an interesting question, because when I watch the show, one of the things that we'll often talk about is every now and then it seems that you guys get on each other's nerves a little bit, and we assume that that's all pretend for television. Is that?
The first few seasons of Mythbusters, first 3 or 4 seasons, the original producer of Mythbusters did have the idea that creating drama between Jamie and I would be good for the show. And so, well, in England the expression is pissing in your ears. He would kind of get us angry at each other and then roll the cameras. We still do drive each other nuts on a daily basis. We have very different approaches. For instance, he thinks I'm really messy. And for someone who's so quiet, I wish he'd stop talking sometime.
Yeah, but it turns out to be a really kind of powerful relationship in a way. And this, I mean this in all seriousness. There's the dichotomy that we have, the kind of opposite end of the pole thing, is a powerful tool. It helps us solve the problems that we're really doing this stuff. We're figuring it all out. We have a wonderful team of researchers and producers on the show that you know, are a crucial part of the process. But what you see us doing is us working on it. We're figuring those things out, and we found that that the fact that we are so opposed to each other, it actually helps us understand what's going on. It's kind of like this perpetual tug of war.
2 dogs and a napkin.
Yeah, exactly. And so in that struggle, out comes the answers to the questions we're asking.
We can argue back and forth, and we can argue vociferously back and forth over a point that we feel is important, but when the right idea shows up, everyone knows it.
Yeah, it's actually a point of pride for us that we not stick to our own, you know, ideas or insistence on something when a better idea presents itself. It's something that we hold as the holy grail of working together.
In my line of work, we have sort of a mathematical formula, and the formula goes this way. Comedy is pain plus time or pain plus distance. Sort of works out, it's not funny when I slip on a banana peel, but it sure is funny when he does. Jamie, I wonder if you could tell us any particular moments of Adam in pain that you like?
Well, you know, I think the most famous one is where he, for some reason, decided to put his mouth near a vacuum. And in case you haven't seen this, this wasn't a vacuum hose. This was the vacuum motor, which, you know, pulled a portion of his face into it and, you know, grinded it off. And I was just like, do I laugh at this, or?
I guess the question is, did you laugh at it?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so we got a piece of video to show you, and I'll lead it in. This is we were doing sobering up myths. Yeah. We started out with black coffee and vigorous exercise and dunking your head in ice water, but of course we had to finish with getting smacked in the face. So I decided to take one for the team. And you've got to see this.
You can't, I have to use my moderator powers. You can't do that. Can we roll that, please?
Oh, yeah. Look at him smiling. I know it's going to take a couple of seconds to load, but go ahead and pause that one and load the other one. Because we have that, we didn't do it twice, we covered it with 2 cameras. It's not the way to spend the day. So I closed my eyes, I'm pleased to say I didn't flinch. I'd say Jamie enjoyed doing that.
Well, yeah, well, you gotta admit though, I mean, when we first were doing this, I kind of like, I went like, you know, like, I didn't want to hurt you, you know?
He just kind of grazed me and I was like, that's not a slap!
So I let him have it.